So for today's video, I thought I'd give you a tour of our seeds and seedlings because we have got quite a lot going on here at the moment, and April is generally a really big month for growing generally. And it has been a bit of a slow spring. It's been a little bit colder than normal, but we've had lots of good rain. So the beds are being nicely watered and everything is starting to settle in that I've planted out. So let's have a look at what we've got growing. So in this lower bed here, this is actually the one that I've planted out most recently. And this is onions. Most of these are from a February sowing, and these should all be multi-sown, but I've actually found I've had a bit of difficulty with onion seed this year. I think my seed hasn't been fresh enough. So yeah, these should be multi-sown plugs, but they are mostly singular, and that's a red onion. And then it hasn't germinated yet, but I've got a block of onions and then a small block of carrots. But yeah, this was only sown about a week ago, so carrots can be quite slow to germinate. And then yeah, this set of onions did a bit better. These have come out mostly multi-sown, as they should be. And this is a white onion, Stewron, I think this one is. Yeah, so they're looking a bit better. They did actually get slightly burnt on the hotbed for a while, so but they've bounced back now. You can just see the little singed tips on a few, but yeah, this is the first time I've taken the covers off since I planted them out, and yeah, really happy with those ones actually. So yeah, another block of carrots, and then there was just a few small onions from a different sowing, which this was actually brand new seed, and yeah, as you can see, it didn't do much at all. So I think I'm going to try saving my own onion seed this year to see if I have more success with that. And then yeah, that will be another block of carrots. And yeah, I'll probably just keep that going. I've got a few more onions potentially coming on, so I might keep that going down the bed, but we'll see what space we have. And I wasn't actually going to sow carrots in this bed. I think I kind of forgot my sowing plan, because last year this bed had some lots of vole activity going on underneath it, so we actually lost nearly all of our courgettes. So that's why I planted the onions here, because I don't think the voles like the smell of the onions so much. So yeah, but then I just forgot myself and sowed some carrots in there as well, because carrots and onions normally are really good companions. But anyway, so next bed up, we've got our kohlrabi in here, and there's purple kohlrabi and white kohlrabi. And this was planted out probably about 3 weeks ago. And then just last Sunday, I planted out these multi-sown radishes in between as well, because they're cropped quite quickly. So they should be coming out by the time the kohlrabi start getting bigger. So yeah, happy with that though. That's looking nice. The kohlrabi, it's taken a little while to settle in, but it is starting to get going now. And further down this bed, we've just got, I think this is all lamb's lettuce, which has been self-seeding here for years. So I just need to get the hoe and run the hoe through this bit. And then we've still got some leeks from last season that we'll slowly work through, and we just harvest those as we need them. Yeah, so hopefully they'll be out by the time I've got more stuff ready to go into this bed. And then above, on the next layer up, is salad and beetroot in this layer. So I've got some mizuna here at the end, and I probably shouldn't have planted mizuna at this time of the year, because you get a lot of the flea beetle, and that's what these holes are in the leaves. But it normally grows really quite fast, the mizuna, so I thought, oh well, it could just add to the salads, but we don't mind a little bit of holes in what we're harvesting for us, so that doesn't bother us. Yeah, and then we've got some wild rocket here, so that's the perennial rocket, if you want it to be. And then some beautiful mixed salads here. So we've got red oak leaf, coriander, I think this is a multicoloured romaine, yeah, try romaine. And then we've got some green salad bowl, and yeah, they've just started settling in, and I can really see the growth happening on those now. Dill here, and then red oak leaf lettuce. Actually, that might be the red salad bowl, and the red oak leaf is at the other end. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I just love having the mixture of colours, and we've been really enjoying all of the red lettuce that we're pulling out of our polytunnel still at the moment. So yeah, just love having the mixture of colours, really nice. And then here is my first sowing of beetroot, and this was from a February sowing. This is Boltardi beetroot. And this bed I will just be continuing with a mixture of beetroot and salads, and I've actually got another 2 trays of beetroot ready to go, which I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, so this will probably just be salad beetroot all the way down as we keep planting. This finger here was my first sowing of carrots, which I sowed on the 18th of March. And as you can see, we have got some germination going on now. It's a little bit patchy right at the beginning, but actually as you get further down, it's looking quite good. And I'm probably going to plant something in between or either side of these rows. I might try putting some marigolds all along with the carrots as well, just for a bit of companion planting to maybe ward off the carrot rust fly. But I'm actually trying, I don't normally do F1 seeds, but I'm actually trying an F1 carrot this year, which is called Resistor Fly, and I'm growing our normal variety of carrots as well, just to see if there is a really big difference and benefit in using maybe an F1 variety for that. So yeah, I'll let you know later on in the season how that goes. The garlic has been sat in all winter above the carrots here. This is mainly a French garlic. It's looking beautiful, and that will sit there for another few months yet until we harvest that towards the end of June or the beginning of July. And the beautiful elephant garlic is over here. Yeah, more leeks in this bed. They've been in all winter. Again, we're just harvesting those as we need. And the overhaul of our strawberry bed that you might have seen in one of our previous videos is definitely paying off. There is still quite a lot of sorrel mixed in with it here. This is all the sorrel, just kind of pull out any chunks that I see. But the strawberries are actually bouncing back a lot better than I expected. So really, really pleased with that. And as you can see, they just grow up through the wood chip and they just love it. They absolutely love it. So yeah, happy with the strawberries. Just down here, we've got some purple sugar snap peas, and they've had a bit of a hard time because I planted them out a little bit. They were a little bit bigger than I would have liked them to be. And then a few days after I planted them out, we had some really strong winds come through here. So they've been completely wind battered. We lost a couple of them have snapped off, but the birds have actually left them alone this year. This is what all this is about, all these little twigs we put round to kind of make it a little bit more difficult for the birds to scratch around them. And yeah, the birds haven't been so interested, touch wood, this year, but yeah, they've been got by the wind, but they're coming on now. They are growing and they're settling in, but the slight difference in colour is because they're a purple variety. But I do find that sometimes when I first transplant the peas here, it does take a little while for them just to get settled, and they sometimes are a little bit slow on that. So, but yeah, they'll be fine. So lots of other bits have been dotted in the food forest and around elsewhere, and I'll show you those in another video. But let's go and have a look at what's going on in the polytunnel. So the other thing I've just actually planted out this week is all of our peas, and this is green sugar snap peas all along here, and hopefully, yeah, they're just going to grow up over this fence and look beautiful. And then over this side, this is peas for podding, so for shelling. And yeah, they go right round the corner here. So Yeah, I planted those out this week too. And guys, YouTube has told me today that it is actually our channel's Freedom Forest Life's birthday today that I'm filming this video on. So please give us an extra thumbs up today for our channel's birthday. So Dan planted out all of our potatoes right at the end of March, and it is now just past the middle of April, and as you can see they are all coming up really, really well. So they're looking good. And then into the polytunnel.
Thank you.
Okay, so it is pretty busy in here at the moment. So the hotbed is maxed out, and just yesterday or the day before I potted on all of the chilies and the peppers and all of the tomatoes because they were just in really small cells like this, and so I just transplanted them into slightly bigger cells where they stay until we plant them out around the middle of May. So we've got lots of flowers going on. Marigolds, they're going to be planted out as companions with the tomatoes and carrots. This is one of the trays of beetroots which is nearly ready to go out. That is a red stripy beetroot, one of my favourites. Chigoa, I can never remember how to pronounce the names, I'm terrible at that, but anyway, love that one. Then we've got some more flowers here, we've got cosmos, we've got some salvia coming on, some heleniums just starting to come through. Love heleniums, really beautiful end of summer colour, just beautiful deep autumn colours. Some marigolds, not that we really need any more of those because they self-seed everywhere here. That's pot marigolds, calendula. Another tray of beetroot here, and this is golden beetroot, and they are really lovely as well, really sweet. This is a tray of herbs, which actually this is the next lot I need to plant out. Yeah, they're getting a bit big really. Some flat leaf parsley, St. John's wort, this is for the food forest. Some more oregano, I'm going to dot that all through the food forest. Curly parsley, lovage, yeah, that's definitely ready to go out. And then this should be a row of chervil here, and it hasn't grown so well. The ones that have come on are a bit too big now, but yeah, it was a bit patchy, that germination, so, but we'll get those out in the next few days. Cape gooseberries here, I need to pot those on. A few little, they were a later sown of tomatoes, that's actually sun gold because I lost all of the first lot. And then these beautiful asparagus, I'm just going to give those a few more days, and then they will be being planted out all along the fence in the food forest. And then at the back here is a tray of I think you say it rise and true tomatoes, and this is our favourite prolific cherry tomato that we always sow in one of the polytunnels. So there was an earlier sowing which I thought I had lost, so I did a later sowing, and that's what the size difference is there. And then I've got a load more tomatoes over here which I've potted on. Again, this was from my first sowing which I did in early March. And I actually thought I'd lost all of these guys because they got really badly burnt on the hotbed when we were learning about that when it first got going. But they have bounced back, and of course I did a second sowing, so now I've got twice as many tomatoes as I was planning on having. And this is another one of our favourite varieties. This is Cherokee, and it's almost like a big beefsteak tomato. It's a heritage and the flavour is amazing, so that's why we love that one. A few more brassicas here. Oh, another herb skullcap, that one's growing on. I think last time I filmed this one it had just germinated, so this was sown on the 26th of March. And yeah, it's going to need a little more time until I plant that one out, but yeah, really excited about that herb. Yeah, some cauliflowers. All of this was from a late March sowing, so it's at various stages. Welsh onions, and then yeah, some more tomatoes down here. And then I better take all of the covers off of these, and then I can tell you all about the seeds that we've been sowing and what is just germinating. Okay, so it has been a busy week or so for seeds, and I've still got one more sowing to do for April. But I had quite a big sowing in here yesterday and the day before. And so here we've got 2 trays of leeks, 2 different varieties of leeks. Elephant is one that overwinters really well. And then what have we got down here? So this is a tray of courgettes. I just planted those, I just sowed those 2 days ago. And there's a few different varieties of green and yellow courgettes in there. And also a round courgette, which we really like for stuffing. And I've got these stacked at the moment just because we're keeping them in the propagator to keep the trays, the seeds protected from the mice and voles, which we have a lot of here, we've discovered. And until they germinate, it's fine to have them stacked up like this, but I'll move them so they're just in single layers before the seeds start to come up. In this tray is cucumbers, so I've got a mixture of cucumbers there. An outdoor variety, Market More, it's quite a popular variety. We've got some melons. We've got the Armenian cucumber, which is the yard-long cucumber, which we really love. And then just a standard green tamara, I think it's called, that one there. So that is a busy tray. So more sowings from just yesterday and the day before. This is a tray of chickpeas, which I tried for the first time last year. And they went quite well, surprisingly well. So I'm going to have another go at these this year. In here also, I've got some more Welsh onions and then some sunflowers, some giant sunflowers that we're going to grow possibly for eating, but also just as companion planting and for the beneficial insects and for obviously how beautiful they look towards the end of the summer. Another tray of salad to continue down the row I showed you outside. It's pretty much the same again, the oak leaf, the red and green salad bowl, romaine, and then there's Lola Rosa in there, which is another favourite for the 2 different shades of green and red that you get through it. It's beautiful. It's looking absolutely stunning in the Polytunnel at the moment. I'll pop that one back there. Okay, and then we're moving down to the sowings that I did at the beginning of April. So a lot of this is germinating now. And here, this is a whole tray of holy basil. And I plant that into the Polytunnel because I love that as a medicinal herb. I tincture it and dry it for teas, and the flavour is just divine. So I'll do at least one more tray of that yet as well. A bit of a mixed tray of herbs here. So we've got more parsley, summer savoury, which I've not grown before, Thai basil, salad burnet, which I've not grown before. That's a perennial once I've got that going, so hopefully that will stay in the food forest. We've got some landcress. The only thing that's actually germinating in this tray is the Thai basil. I think that's all I've spotted so far. But yeah, so that was the 8th of April I sowed those. This is a real mixed tray here. We've got some Malabar spinach, which again, that was a new one on us last year. So if you want to see that growing, check out our Polytunnel tours from summer last year, really interesting. Okra, we had a lot of interest in that last year, and it's just germinating here, just started coming up yesterday. And this is amazing because all of these were sown from the 8th of April, and this is literally 8 days on, and everything is coming up. So the growth at this time of year is getting really fast now. We've got rainbow chard, that's from Saved Seed. That's looking good. What's in this one here? Oh, zinnias, so more flowers. I'm going to try and go a lot bigger on flowers in our beds into planting this year. Breaded poppy, or breadseed poppy, sorry, breadseed poppy. New one I'm trying this year. It's an edible white poppy seed. So going to be putting that one into the food forest. And then another favourite of mine is the New Zealand spinach, which I absolutely love. Again, if you want to see how that one looks growing in its element, check out our Polytunnel tours from last summer. Oh my gosh, just so exciting. Everything. This is all the beautiful summer crops just starting to get going. Here is our first tray of sweet corn. This is half saved seed and half real seed in this tray. At the minute, the real seed has, well, I say real seed, bought seed, it's all real seed. The bought seed has come up a little quicker, and we've put this in as well just to keep introducing new genetics. So that's obviously better for when you're saving seed as well. But our own saved seed is starting to come up, and the saved seed we've got is actually 2 years old, and so that's potentially why it's a little bit slower. But it's coming, it will all catch up. So yeah, beautiful yellow sweet corn. In here we've got the trombone courgettes, which we loved them last year. First time growing those, absolutely epic. We grew them in the polytunnels, we're going to grow them outside this year as well. And again, I've got 2 lots of seed going on here. This row here, which is actually coming up a little faster, is my saved seed, which I actually took out of a squash that I used only 10 days ago, and they are rocketing through. This row here is from the bought seed, and yeah, that is starting to come up as well. We've got loofahs here. This one's just pushing through. This is from saved seed, and well, all my loofahs is saved seed, but I had 2 different sorts. Some of it was black and some of it was white, so I sowed a row of each, and this is the black loofah seed. I think they must have been drier or more mature seed. That's coming up. Delicata winter squash, beautiful, sweet, stripy, hard skinned squash, small. Love them. Check out our winter squash harvest video if you'd like to see those. That's just starting to pop its head through as well. Oh my gosh, I need to take a breath. More melons and more melons here. So they are looking good. They literally, I was in the tunnels yesterday, I think that was a week after planting, and I was literally watching these guys germinate. In the morning when I first checked them, there was 1 seed just coming up, and by the end of the day there was like 5 or 6. Every time I just looked, there was another one just working its way through. So we've got a real mixture here. We've got Collective Farms woman melon. We grew that for the first time last year. It is a cantaloupe melon, but it comes out more like a honeydew melon, but it's beautiful. That's grown on really strong. You can get the seeds from real seed if they've still got it, but you need to be fast because melons need to be in now. There's also a row of mini peppers that I had a spare row in this tray, and so I transplanted them on yesterday. So this is from yesterday's transplants. Minnesota midget coming through here, another favourite. Then we've got an orange honeydew, which I've tried for the first time just to mix things up. They're growing strong. These Charentaise, we've grown that for a few years in a row. Beautiful, fragrant flavour, love it. So Dan's going to have his work cut out for him planting on all of these melons soon, because that's normally his department, is the next stage. I bring the seed on and then he keeps the melons going after that. This tray here is all watermelon, and we've got a real mixture in here. So this side of the tray here is from this year's bought seed. Again, the germination's happening quite good here. This few rows here is from our saved seed from last year, so we've got a couple coming up. And then this one here, which has actually got more coming up, 4 of them. This is from our saved seed from the year previous, so from 2021 saved seed. So again, mixing it up to keep adding the genetics seems like a better way to be doing it. So yeah, so much going on, and I've still got another sowing to do for this month, and the last seeds that I'll be sowing will be all of our winter squash, all the remaining winter squash. So got quite a few seeds to do for that, maybe a few more herbs as well. But yeah, really busy month is April for seeds. It's all getting going. Love it. I've also been foraging some beautiful wild edibles this week. And wild foods are often packed with even more goodness than cultivated crops. I'm harvesting dandelions here to make dandelion honey for the first time. The dandelions look so beautiful and bright that they just must be packed with loads of goodness. And dandelions are meant to be particularly good at cleansing toxins from the body. So we were super excited to try this dandelion honey for the first time. And we were absolutely blown away by how much it tastes like real honey. I'd also been meaning to harvest some stinging nettles for a few weeks now, as it's best to harvest them when they're young. I'm harvesting these to dry to keep for the winter months, so I can still enjoy beautiful, nourishing stinging nettle tea. I'm just removing the lower leaves first of all, because I find this makes it easier to tie them into bunches to dry out. And then I just bundle them up into small bunches and hang them under cover where it's quite shady out of the sunlight. And hopefully, if it stays dry for a few days and we get a little bit of breeze, they're dry quite easily. The remaining leaves that were left over are added to the compost to give extra nutrient there too. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what is growing and what is coming on at this peak time of spring at Freedom Forest. We love this time of year. Everything is just getting going and growing so fast. It's a super exciting time. So hopefully I've given you some ideas for what you can be growing too. So don't forget to please give this video a thumbs up. And also drop us some comments below, any questions that you have. We love reading the comments, and this also really helps to boost our videos and get them seen by more people. Have a great week, folks, and we will see you here again soon with lots more exciting stuff from the food forest and everything else that's happening here. Peace and plants.